So regarding the structure of a neuron, you have some idea because you have been studying about the structure of a neuron from your high school classes onwards. You have studied that neuron may be having a cell body, neuron may be having an axon, and neuron may be having dendron or dendrites. This idea you have for a long time, and we are actually starting from that area itself. So normally this is how the structure of a neuron is appearing. Neuron will be having a nucleus, and an axon will be there, dendron will be there, dendrites will be there, axonites will be there. So the main function of a neuron is actually transferring message from one part of the body to another part of the body. That is the primary function of a typical neuron. Neuron will be transferring messages. Now here you can see that what are the main parts of a neuron. Then see, neuron will be having dendrite, cell body, nodes of Ranvier, myelin sheath, Schwann cell, and axon terminal. We will take one by one. So coming to the dendrite, dendrites are actually shorter branches. Here you can see that these are the dendrites. These are the dendrites. And if you look at the dendrites, they are actually starting from cell body, and the purpose of the dendron or dendrites is to receive messages from other neurons. So there are two types of extension. One is dendron or dendrites, other is axon. So in the case of dendron, what dendron is doing is that will be carrying messages or receiving messages from other neurons and bringing it to the cell body. So that is the main function of a dendrite or dendron. It is simply receiving messages from other neuron and allow those messages to travel to the cell body. So taking or receiving messages from other neuron and bringing it to the cell body is the main function of a dendron or a dendrite. Then although some neurons do not have dendrites, other type of neurons may have multiple dendrites. Sometimes in this neuron you can see that many dendrons are there, and the endings are known by the name dendrites. Some cells may not be having many dendrons, only one dendron may be present. Some have more than. Here you can see that many dendrons are present. The root-like branches are there. But in some case, only a cell body and one single dendron may be present. So that is meaning, and sometimes no dendron may not be present. And dendrites can have small protrusion called dendritic spines, which further increase the surface area for possible connection. Here you can see that these endings are known by the dendrites. At the end of each dendrite there is a spine or a spine-like structure which we call by the name dendritic spines. So it is a dendron, then finer branches are known by the dendrites, and the last area is known by the name dendritic spines. This is how the structure of a dendrite will be appear. Then second region is the cell body. Here also you can see that the main part of the cell is known by the neuronal cell is known by the cell body. There is another term for that. It is also known by the soma. And if you look at the picture, you can see that it contains many important organelles are there. We have this endoplasmic reticulum will be there, Golgi apparatus will be there, mitochondria will be there, and the lysosomes will be there. So most of the cellular organelles will be present in the cell body or in the soma. So if you look at the structure, you can see that this is the most important part of a neuron. Other two structures like dendron as well as axon are, one is for receiving messages, other is for sending out messages. So in case of cell body is the most important, most vital part of the neuronal cell, and that is mainly responsible for controlling almost all the activities that are happening in a neuron. Now what happens to the axon is that in case of axon, as we have discussed earlier, dendron is receiving messages, axon will be sending out messages. The function of the axon, here you can see that compared to these are the dendrons, whereas this is the axon. So axon may be sending out messages or transferring messages to other neuron, whereas dendron will be receiving messages from other neuron. So as axon at its most basic is a tube-like structure, that carries electrical impulse. Electrical impulse simply means electrical messages from the cell body to axon terminal, which then pass the impulse to another neuron. So what we are seeing is that this dendron, this cell body will be sending some messages. This sending out of messages or transferring messages to another cell body is through this long tube known by the name axon. And the end of the axon are known by the name axon terminals. That also you can see here. So normally the cell body contains a specialized structure known by the name axon hillock. Here you can see that. The starting region of the cell body. Here also you can see that this is the known as axon hillock. Hillock means a small hill or a small hill-like projection. So that is why it is known as the axon hillock, which serve as a junction between cell body and the axon. See, this is the cell body and this is the axon. Here this middle region is known by the name axon hillock. It is a connecting region between axon and the cell body. And that is so main function of the axon is sending out messages, transferring messages to other neuron. Then we have synapse. Synapse also you might have some idea. It is the connection between two neurons. So synapse is actually a chemical junction between axon terminal of one neuron and dendrites of the next neuron. Here may be a picture, maybe there. I will show you if there is a picture. So in case of synapse, synapse is the chemical junction between axon terminal and as well as the dendrites of the next neuron. And between synapse and regarding synapse we will be studying again. So in case of synapse there is a small gap between two neurons. That is known by the synaptic gap or synaptic cleft. So that is how a synapse is normally present, or the structure of a synapse will be. So regarding the cell body, again cell body we have seen that it is a soma. It contains most of the internals or organelles of the cell. Then in addition to that, one important thing about the axon is the presence of myelin sheath. Here you can see that this is the myelin sheath. Here also you can see that this is the myelin sheath. See, the axon is a very long tube. It is covered with a insulating material, a fatty insulating material. That insulating material is known by the name myelin sheath. Here you can see that. So the myelin sheath is a fatty layer, and purpose of that fatty layer is just like we have a wire, we are giving a plastic coating. Purpose of that plastic coating is act as an insulator to prevent electricity from leaking to other parts of the other surrounding material. Same effect purpose is actually done by the this myelin sheath. It is acting as an insulating layer, just like the electrical coating of a wire, the plastic coating of a wire. So that is how so some axons are covered with the myelin, a fatty material that wraps means covering the axon to form myelin sheath. So myelin sheath is an important thing. Coating functions as an insulation to minimize dissipation. Dissipation means wastage of electrical signal as it travels down the axon. So as the electrical messages or the nervous impulses are traveling to the axon, it is a very weak electricity. That weak electricity has to be protected properly, otherwise it will be wasted. So in order to prevent that waste, there is a fatty coating around it. That fatty coating is done by the name myelin sheath. So myelin is present on the axon greatly increases the speed of conduction. That is another advantage. One, it is acting as an insulating layer. Second, it is increasing the speed of conduction because the fat prevents any electricity from leaking out. So these are some of the advantages. One, it is insulating it. Second, it is increasing the speed. And this insulation is important as axon from human motor neuron can be as long as a meter. So here you can see sometimes the length of an axon may be up to 1 meter. You can imagine. So when a small cell is transferring a neuron up to a distance of 1 meter, there could be slight decrease in its electrical intensity. So electrical intensity can gradually decrease as we move away from the cell body. So in order to save maximum electricity, it is covered with a myelin sheath which protect the electricity from being wasted. Then periodic gaps in the myelin sheath are called rods of Ranvier. Here you can see that. Here also in the axon, there are certain gaps are there. These gaps are known by the rods of Ranvier based on the after the name of the scientist. So actually this myelin sheath is not continuous. It's like the plastic coating of the electric wire. It is not continuous. There are breaks here, and these breaks are known by the name nodes of Ranvier. So nodes of Ranvier is an important structural characteristics. So what happens is that at these nodes signal is recharged. As for example, normally we call this transfer of impulse across the axon terminal, or in such a way that it is known as saltatory conduction. Saltatory conduction means when impulses are reaching this point, you will be jumping to the next point. From here it will again jumping to the next. It can be jumping type of propagation, jumping type of transfer of electricity is there, and so we use the term saltatory propagation. Saltatory means jumping. So saltatory propagation is a type of electrical propagation or electrical transfer of electrical impulses through this axon. So that is one peculiarity of the axon. So axons are provided the nodes of Ranvier, and it is increasing the speed of conduction. That is another advantage of nodes of Ranvier. Here also you can see that in addition to that there are neurolemma or Schwann cells, sheath of Schwann cells. Here also you can find the so that is this myelin sheath is actually produced by a type of cell known by the name Schwann cell. See here you can, the myelin sheath is not actually the part of the neuron. It is myelin sheath is produced by glial cell. Glial means glue, which are non-neuronal cells that provide support for the nervous system. So here you can see that this is the myelin sheath, and myelin sheath is actually produced by another. So this is the axon. Axon is actually covered with the myelin sheath. This myelin sheath is produced by a type of cell known by the name Schwann cell. Here you can see the nucleus of the Schwann cell. It is the Schwann cells which are producing that, and sometimes Schwann cells are also known by the glial cells. So in the central nervous system, glial cells that form the myelin sheath are called oligodendrocytes. Whereas in the peripheral nervous system, it is known by the name Schwann cell. So Schwann cells, whether you are using the term Schwann cells or oligodendrocytes, both are actually one same type of cell, sometimes known as a glial cell. Their purpose is to produce the myelin sheath and supply the myelin sheath to the nutrients, provide insulation and remove pathogens and remove the neurons. So that is how the Schwann cells are actually working. Schwann cells are helping the formation of myelin sheath, and they give them nourishment and also helping in the maintenance and removal of the pathogen from the myelin sheath. Here you can see that there are two types of glial cell. Glial cell present in the central nervous system. Central nervous system means brain, is known by the name oligodendrocyte. Whereas the myelin sheath present in our spinal cord and not in the spinal cord, in other major areas or other neurons of the body are known by the name Schwann cells. So two types of nerves are there. One is central nervous system, which include brain and spinal cord. All other nerve components in our body are coming under the peripheral or outside nervous system. So if the glial cells are present in peripheral nervous system, we are calling it by the name Schwann cell. If the glial cells are present in the oligodendrocytes, we call or central nervous system, we will be calling it as oligodendrocytes. But so the term oligodendrocytes or Schwann cells are actually glial cell, and purpose of the glial cell is protection of the myelin sheath. So this is the overall idea regarding the structure of the neuron and also the functions of the different organs associated with the different parts associated with the neuron.